Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. I don't have an intro for you today, but I am going to be reviewing episode 7 of Avatar: The Last Airbenders live action show on Netflix. This is episode 7 called The North. So let's get right into this. First of all, today is February 24th, so Avatar came out on the 22nd. So the 22nd, my sister and I watched episodes 1 and 2, and then yesterday, the 23rd, we watched 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I filmed all of the reviews for those, and then today we just watched 7 and 8, which was the final 2 episodes, so I'll be filming those reviews tonight. So I wanted to clarify again that I watched the show literally basically 3 days after it launched, and I'm reviewing them as soon as I watched them and they came out, so I'm reviewing them by the 24th of February, and I hope to be releasing them every Friday, so even if you're not watching this until like a month later, I'm not late, I promise. Anyways, with that in mind, let's get into this. So I didn't take notes because it was just 2 episodes instead of 4, so I'm going to be doing this off the top of my head. So, anyways, the North. Basically what happens in this episode is, basically they get to the North, and it follows the animated show pretty closely. It does the drama with Zhao and Zuko and Iroh, and I liked that. At first I was a little nervous because they started doing it a little differently, where Zuko's on his ship and I can't remember exactly the details, but like they kind of see it coming and Zuko starts to escape before I remember what it was. They heard word that Ozai sent firebenders to arrest him, and so I was like, wait, what? You know, because this is not supposed to happen, because I've been waiting for the Zhao betrayal moment, because that's a big moment in the show. And anyways, so they heard word that Ozai sent guards to arrest him, so he flees on a ship, a little rowboat really, but they still had that rowboat blow up, so they still did the Zhao betrayal. It turns out Zhao had lied and said that the firebenders were going to arrest him when they weren't, and it was a lie to lure Zuko away and fall into the trap. So the rest of it stayed the same, where Iroh works with Zhao, Zuko's hiding aboard the ship as they go to siege the North. What's a little different is Zhao starts off in the previous episodes as this lowly commander, and in working with Zuko to find the Avatar, he also gets word from Azula, and she kind of helps him. She's the one who gives him the archers, and she's the one that kind of sets up a lot of different things. And through her, Azula working through Zhao, he kind of rises a little bit to where he becomes a admiral of the fleet that's sent to the North. So he also did research about the spirits, but that is next episode, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So it's kind of like Azula's behind it, so Zhao is not this kind of pretty epic commander already by the time we meet him, but I understand that because in the live action it gives him more of a character arc where he starts off as a lowly commander and ends up becoming an admiral and the guy to do all of this stuff, sieging the North. So Aang and Sokka and Katara get to the North. It looks absolutely stunning. The costumes, the ice itself, like the village, I mean, looks fantastic. So I do want to point out that the actors that they chose for the Northern Water Tribe look more Native American-like, and I like that because it's always been the vibe that I get when watching the animated shows. They seem more like Alaskan natives, basically, and I've always kind of gotten that feeling, like it kind of seems that way, and I feel like they definitely pulled off the look. In fact, one of the actresses who plays the female waterbender that Katara learns water healing from is a really good Native American actress that I love. She's in a bunch of other movies that I love. But Yue and Yue's father, let me start that over. Yue's father looks fantastic and perfect. I feel like they casted him much better than they did Hakoda, who is Sokka and Katara's dad, which is disappointing because to me Hakoda is going to be much more important later. So I was still it makes me more disappointed by Hakoda's appearance because he doesn't look right to me. But anyways, Yue's dad, the leader of the Northern Water Tribe, looks perfect. Yue's fiance looks fantastic, and in fact I really like him. He's pretty good looking, if I do say so myself. But they changed his character so he's not an arrogant jerk, and him and Yue are already broke up. They were engaged at one point and she called it off, and at first I didn't like that because that's part of the aspect, but I realized that they probably didn't feel like they could pull off a realistic romance between Sokka and Yue if she's already engaged and cheating on him. In the animation it's kind of like it's a kid's show, so it kind of like you side it's the lack of time on it doesn't really bother you because it's a kid's show. But with this, making it more realistic, more mature, her having an affair on her fiance with Sokka, in the fact that they only have a couple days together, seems unrealistic. So the fact that she's now broken up, she's single, it allows them to have the freedom to have their relationship. So I don't mind it. It's just something that is different. One of those differences that aren't really like a bad difference. His character is not a jerk and he's not arrogant. And in fact, he actually really cares for her and is kind of like sad by the breakup, but he kind of like respects her, which they did do that for a purpose, which I won't spoil. Yue's appearance and stuff, she looked spot on, and in fact her voice, she sounds identical to Yue in the animated show, to me at least. And the fun fact, I called it, she is the fox. She can visit the spirit world whenever she wants due to her connection to the moon spirit, and that's exactly what I called. When I heard the fox's voice, she sounded like Yue. Their interactions between the fox and Sokka felt and looked kind of, you know, it was like a Sokka Yue interaction, so I did predict that right. Let's replay the clip here. I did actually see a fox, and she sounds like Yue, and given his romance with Suki, I'm not sure how they're going to do Yue, and so I'm calling it right now that I think the fox may have been Yue. Keep in mind I haven't seen episodes 7 and 8 yet, so this is just me predicting, but I think they're going to do where Yue can access the spirit world, and so that was somehow Yue getting to meet Sokka because it sounded like her, and they had kind of a dynamic that I feel like is very Sokka and Yue like, but I don't know. I had no idea what the fox significant is. I'm going to be surprised if it's not Yue. All right. Anyway, so I called it. Does confirm it. The only thing that threw me off was she's an actress who plays the younger sister in Roswell, and in that one she's kind of a druggie and kind of a rebellious, bad attitude kind of person, and sometimes I only saw the sister from Roswell, which I don't really like, and I was worried about that because I think the first scene that she was actually in, I was getting that vibe from her, and I didn't really like it because it doesn't really feel like Yue. Yue is very graceful, very, I don't know, there's just a grace about her that I felt like the actress lacked. But after that first scene, the rest of the scenes Yue was in, she felt very Yue-like to me. I'm really picky about Yue because I love Yue's character. I love her relationship with Sokka, and I love the romance and how it ends, which I won't spoil in case you guys haven't seen the animated show. But I'm really picky about Yue. I was really worried about it. But after that, the first scene, I got that kind of attitude-ish thing from her, and then after that, she was fine. So no complaints from me on that. Aang does not actually learn waterbending. So this was the episode I was like, he hasn't waterbent all season, and I was really disappointed because there was a lot of moments in the show, in the original, when him and Katara are waterbending together, and there wasn't any moments like that in this show, and I felt like they missed it. So my thought was that, okay, maybe they're just saving it for him to pick it up really quickly in the final 2 episodes, but he doesn't waterbend at all, and it really throws me off, and I didn't like it. So this particular episode, I'll get to more about that next episode, but for this particular episode, episode 7, the North, yeah, that's what it's called, I did not like the fact that Aang did not waterbend. So they did keep Katara's rivalry with Master Pakku, and she does start to learn healing with the other women. Obviously they don't want her fighting, and Pakku is like, women don't fight, and so they kept that in there. I was worried since they took out Sokka's sexism that they would also take out the Master Pakku situation, but they kept it all the same, and she does duel Master Pakku, and in fact I loved that fight scene. The water bending looked fantastic. The ice bending looked really good. There was one moment where Katara like does this thing and it forms ice and then she leaps. The leap kind of looked a little odd to me, but overall they followed the beats from the original fight and it looked really great. Like the bending looks so fantastic and the fight scenes are really good, and the martial arts that they use as well is just really, really good. Master Pakku also looked and sounded and acted very much like Master Pakku. I'm also picky about him because I like his character despite that he doesn't like women. He just, I don't know, I've always liked his character, like it's well written. So I really enjoyed that. There has been some stuff with with Azula and the Fire Lord, and how I'm not sure if I like it or not, and I really don't know how to feel about it. Basically kind of what's been going on that side, and I don't remember which scenes, whether they were in this one or the finale, but basically she's been fighting prisoners from different bending nations to try to test her skills and everything, and he's been pushing her to be perfect, and she feels that pressure. I personally feel like we're seeing that too soon, and I don't know if they're going to give her enough room to be a villain, but that's, you know, something that will be kind of judged next season, so I can't really speak too much about it. I'm just not sure how I feel about it right now, because I don't like not getting to know her as a villain first. So Aang talks to Avatar Kuruk. I cannot remember his name. I'm so bad because he's one of my favorite avatars. Let me look it up real quick. I want to make sure I'm getting it right. But anyways, he's one of Kuruk. He's one of my favorite avatars, and Aang actually got to talk to him, so I did like what they did. Like, even though it's not Aang and Roku always talking, Aang got to speak to Avatar Kyoshi, Roku, and Kuruk, and we got to know him. His characterization, his look, his appearance, the costume looked fantastic. His voice, they added a lot more lore and back history to him, and I love what they did with his character. I love getting to know his lifetime and what he dealt with and what he had gone through, and the type of person he is because of his circumstances, and then the advice that he gives Aang. And Aang's, like, basically his mini arc here is that Avatar Kuruk basically tells him that he has to do this alone, so he tries to kind of drop Katara and tell her that maybe Pakku is right, you shouldn't fight, I don't want to lose you, and he tries to do things alone. And it's a little different. I mean, Aang, as far as I remember, in the animated episode equivalent of this one, he didn't really have much of an arc because he was learning from Master Pakku waterbending and struggling a little bit, and then he would secretly teach Katara waterbending, and so I missed that. And in this one, it's like Katara is a natural, picks it up really quickly and teaches herself, and I'm not sure I like that, because in the original it's like in this one she learns and grows on her own and doesn't have a master to teach her, and she just picks it up. In the original, she struggles with her waterbending and is jealous of Aang picking it up so quickly and easily, and I missed that character arc for her. Whereas in this one, she starts off not knowing much, grows to know a lot, and kind of opens herself up as she goes along and gains her confidence with her waterbending. And I just don't know if I like it or not. I don't hate it, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. So I don't remember exactly when it ends, because again, we kind of watched both episodes, but basically I think the siege begins, or maybe they don't see the ships until the next episode, but either way, I just miss, the one thing that I felt lacked in this episode was Aang's waterbending. The rest of it was really good, honestly, and even though I missed Aang's waterbending, I think I'd have to give this episode 4.5 stars, just because it would have been 5 stars if Aang's waterbending had been in there, but I really felt its absence, and I felt I missed that aspect, that arc, that plot line for him this particular episode, which again, I have more to say about the next episode with that, but that's my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what yours are in the comments below, whether you've seen the original show or not. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, and in the meantime, if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in the meantime, if you liked my review of this episode, episode 7, The North, then stay tuned for my review of episode 8, which is called Legends, and I'll be hopefully putting it up next week, so check that out. You do not want to miss it.